The Lioness and the Mouse. Simba was tired. Of course she was. So would you be if you got up before dawn to hunt breakfast, especially if breakfast turned out to be very fast on its feet and ran away from you. Simba had chased the zebra for mile after mile across the dusty plain before making the kill. Then she had dragged it all the way back home to her waiting cubs. It was a dog's life being a lioness. As usual, each cub wanted the lion's share. I want leg, I want leg, shouted the first cub. You always have it. It's my turn, shrieked the second. He's got more than me, yelped the third. More, 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 screamed the fourth. Not fair, not fair, not fair, said the fifth. She was quite right. She is never fair. Oh, shut up, roared Simba. You're behaving like a lot of spoiled children. Just remember that you are a lion. It's all good meat and there is a plenty for everybody. So not another murmur. After that, the cubs were as quiet as mice, which was very sensible because their mother was a lioness. After all, she had huge paws and razor sharp claws. Right, you lot, growled Simba as soon as they had finished. Mummy is going to have a rest and she does not want to be disturbed. So run along and play among yourselves. And remember, no squabbling. She yawned, and her cubs could see right inside her cavernous mouth. Inside her cavernous mouth, it was lined with two rows of enormous pointed teeth. You don't argue with teeth like that, thought the little cub, and off they ran to play. Simba padded down to the water hole for a long, refreshing drink. Then she settled in the long grass in the shade of a great tree. Peace and quiet at last. Lions just don't realize how much we lionesses have to do, she thought as she began to doze. It's all very well for lions. They just lie around all day and all night too. As often as not, her lion was like that just because of his great mane and beard. He thought he was too good to help with the cubs, but she was much too exhausted to bother about all days for long, and soon she fell into a deep sleep. Mouse was tired too. He had spent the night running away from all who had already eaten his mother, father, sister, brother, and his great aunt Squeak. It's a dog's life being a mouse, thought Mouse as he crept through the long grass into the shade of the green great tree. The soft, warm, golden, furry heap he burrowed into was just what he had been looking for. The perfect place to lie on, murmured Mouse out loud. So he made himself comfortable. He was just beginning to drift off into sleep when something rough, sharp, and very powerful seized him by the throat. Simba was dreaming of a magical world where lions did all the work and the lioness lay about sleeping and playing games. It was a delightful dream, and she was not at all pleased to be woken up. When she saw what was in her paw, she could hardly believe her eyes. A mouse! A tiny little mouse on a great lioness. Mouse was terrified. Oh dear, squeaked Mouse. I'm most terribly sorry. Sorry? Roared Simba. Sorry, you little rodent. I will make you sorry, all right. She raised her other paw. It would soon be all over for Mouse. No, mighty Simba, I beg you. You don't do it. It was all a dreadful mistake. Mistake, thought I was dead, did you? Well, listen to me, young man. Even if I were dead and stuffed full of straw in a natural history museum, you should show respect. And I mean respect to me, a great lioness. You have no excuse. Oh, Simba, Simba, pleaded Mouse, who was ready to try anything. You are much too important to bother with a wretched little thing like me. In any case, I'm sure I will taste disgusting. Simba screwed up her great cat's face. Me Eat you? Eat a mouse? Yes. Lioness don't eat mice. Young man, they eat antelope, zebra, and cattle. Besides, I am not in the least bit hungry. Eat a mouse? Ha! What a lot of mouse trap. I mean, claptrap. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, cried Mouse, more desperate than ever. Please, 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 please don't kill me. Since my life is worth nothing, my death is worth even less. And if I live, who knows, I may be able to help you one day. Simba roared again, only this time with laughter. Ha 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 ha. Ho 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 ho. You help me, that's rich. A mouse help a lioness. Now I have heard everything. She looked at the tiny creature clamped in her paw. There was a twinkle in her smoldering brown eyes. Go on then, Scarper, before anyone sees us. It would ruin my reputation if it got around that I would gone soft and mice. I had gone soft on mice. Mouse scurried off into the underground, into the undergrowth, grateful for his escape, but more exhausted than ever. There is just no future in being a mouse, he thought, wishing he were 100 times the size like Simba, for instance. But big as she was, Simba was in trouble as Mouse scurried away. A crack of gunshot echoed behind him. Simba leapt up in pain and then fell to the ground. She struggled to get up again, but she felt too weak. She had been shot with a tranquilizer. As she lay there, unable to move, a group of a men came out of the cover of the trees and threw a net over her. She was trapped. Moments later, she fainted. When Simba woke, she felt terrible. Her head ached and the net bit into her skin. She couldn't move, and when she tried to roar for help, her voice was pitifully weak. Her whole body was sore. They had dragged her a long way. It's all over me, she moaned. They'll take me somewhere cold and wet and stick me in a smelly little cage. People will bring their children to point at me through the bars, and I will never see my little cubs again. Tears sprang into Simba's eyes. कटेगा यहाँ से. People will bring their children to point at me through the bars, and I will never see my little cubs again. Tears sprang into Simba's eyes and rolled down her cheeks. Mouse was out of breath. Phew, he panted at last. He was only a little mouse and already very tired. It had been hard work keeping up with the men. After a few minutes, he got his breath back. Right, he squared briskly. There's no time to waste. You just lie there, Simba, and watch this. He began to gnaw at the net. It was made of a special tough rope, but Mouse had especially sharp little teeth. He had soon bitten through it in several places, and Simba managed to get her paws through the holes and do the rest. She was very grateful. Mouse, she purred when they were miles away and safe. I'm very sorry I laughed at you. I just goes to show that size is not everything. I don't know how to thank you. Don't mention it. Mighty Simba, don't mention it. And now, if you don't mind, I will go to sleep again. Mouse sat deeper into the soft, warm, golden, furry heap without a care in the world. Perhaps it wasn't so bad being a mouse after all.